24 hours is all it takes to fuck up your business because you're an asshole.
At this point, I am turning red because I'm so embarrassed and I feel really disrespected.
I know I wasn't the one who said those things, but hearing him use me as his daughter to belittle another person, a creator or not, was a complete shock to me and was unacceptable.
If you are on social media at any... God, I look tired. It's because I am tired. At any capacity, you may have seen content creators or influencers talk about restaurants, this viral something, this pop-up, there was that one waffle place that were making like penis and vagina waffles, and there were lines down the street in Covent Garden, right? Or was it Soho? You don't have to be a content creator with a massive following to make a restaurant or a place go viral. It can be that one video that gets loads and loads of attention. So this content creator, Carla, came online to tell us about a collaboration she was supposed to have with this newly opened cafe, Kiss Cafe. Let's just find out what happened.
I don't know if I'm going to post this video because I'm like still shaking and I feel so frazzled, but I just left a restaurant collaboration crying. I had a TikTok collab with a new restaurant in Hayes Valley that I was really excited for. I had it planned since last week. My reservation was at 5:30, but I went a little early at 5:10, so it was just me. My husband was going to meet me there. When I get there, I'm greeted by the host, and I introduce myself, tell him I'm here for the collab, and he was actually the guy I was speaking on Instagram with about it, so we were on the same page and ready to go. I started to film around the restaurant because I like to do that early on when there's less people. And after filming for a bit, I sit down at the table that's prepped for me, and it's a bar counter seat. I'm continuing to film the setup in the kitchen and stuff because it's really cute, but I hear the host and this other guy talking. And this other guy is behind the counter, so it's a small restaurant. He's like 2 or 3 feet away from me, so I can hear everything they're saying. I know that they're talking about me because I can hear them saying TikTok, views, followers, so I start listening in. The new guy is asking the host who I am, why I'm here, and how many followers I have on TikTok and what my TikTok is. And this guy pulls up my TikTok and says that I have 15,000 followers and I have some videos have millions of views, whatever, and this guy is not happy about it. He was saying that I have too little followers and that this was a mistake. Saying what about her Instagram, how many followers does she have there, and I don't use my Instagram for food, it's just my private Instagram. So this guy tells him that I have like 1,300 followers and he is not having it. Saying to the host that he shouldn't have invited me and that this was a mistake and that this was bad. And then he says, is she dining alone? Who else is coming? And the host says that I have a +1. And then he says, and this +1's late, but no one was late. I was there early. Mind you, this is all happening in front of me and they know that I can hear because we are so close to each other. At this point, I am turning red because I'm so embarrassed and I feel really disrespected, but the new guy comes to me and I introduce myself, I shake his hand, and I'm telling him that I'm still excited about this collab. Immediately he says, did you do any research on this restaurant? Do you know what we do? Do you know who we are? And mind you, they're really new. They don't have a website, but I know their menu front and back because whenever I go to a restaurant, I study the menu because I know what I like to order and I want to know what the restaurant is that I'm collabing with.
Yeah.
I tell him that you guys don't have a website, but I know you are a wine bar and you serve smaller bites. He is smirking while he's listening to me and saying that I didn't do any research and that he thinks that there's been some miscommunication. He asks for my TikTok, which clearly you've done no research about me as well. And he starts scrolling through and playing my TikToks on full volume at the restaurant. And not even my page, just the page that comes up when you search my name. After scrolling like 2 times, he says to me that he doesn't think my videos are at the level at which he wants his restaurant to be represented. He goes on to say that my audience and my followers are not the kind of people that are going to be at his restaurant. It seemed like he was insinuating that my followers would not be able to afford to eat at this restaurant. Then he says, not to be snobby, but do you know who I am? And I say no.
Tell us who he is.
I don't know who he is.
Give us the name.
He says he's a James Beard Award recipient or finalist or something. And I'm like, great. Like, I don't know what to say to that. And he said that his daughter has 600,000 followers on TikTok and that I'm not at that level. He keeps going on. He says that my cooking videos are homey, but he doesn't think I understand what they do at that restaurant. At this point, I'm crying and I want to get out, so I tell him that I'm no longer interested in doing the collab. I tell him that I felt disrespected because they were talking about me right in front of me and belittling my work. And he tells me that he was offended because I came in and didn't introduce myself to him. Which is weird because usually during restaurant collabs, the host comes and greets you because there's a lot of people at the restaurant. You don't know who the owner is or you've never seen their faces most of the time. And now it's 5:30 and my husband comes into the restaurant and he's like, "Hi everybody," because he doesn't know what's going on. I tell my husband that we're gonna leave and we're not eating here, and I tell the owner that I will be taking note of this because I want to be an advocate for micro influencers, especially in the Bay Area food scene. You don't need to have 1 million followers to be respected or feel like you're making a difference. I love spotlighting small businesses, and I want to continue to do that and have fun.
Here's the deal, right? 2 little followers. 15,000 might not seem like a lot, but if you're like a niche account, like you're doing food and everything like that, in that specific genre, 15,000 followers are going to be way more valuable than having 100,000 in a different country, in a different genre of content creator. So her followers have actually gone up a lot since this whole incident has happened. She was on 187 and now she's on like 300 and something thousand. But even her videos got loads and loads and loads of views. It does not matter how many followers or how many subscribers you have. If people are viewing it, that's the point. You know what I mean? So I could have 1 million followers on TikTok. I have like 300 something. And someone could have 15,000. But if I have 1 million and only 5,000 people are watching my videos, but that person has 300,000 people watching their videos, it doesn't matter. It's the views, it's the retention, it's how many people are actually dedicated to that content that matters. This man who works at this restaurant, who is clearly the biggest douche ever, clearly does not know how social media works. Your daughter may have 600 something, but do 600,000 people watch her content? No. The fact that this person, Carla, has more views than she does followers is saying something. That is a good thing. It does not matter the following. And him acting like he's a celebrity, if you haven't, you still own a business. Give a fuck who you are. You still own a business. If somebody walks in and a walking advertisement walks into your bar, your restaurant, wherever it is, you be nice to them. You, to a point, if they're an asshole, then you can get rid of them and tell your side of the story. But if somebody is being really nice and you think you're better than everyone because you've won some award only certain people within your line of work have heard of, no one else gives a shit. No one eating at your restaurant really cares unless they come specifically for you. Never heard of this man in my life. He just sounds like a massive asshole. It's like, oh, they serve wine in small bites. Okay, so does everywhere else. It's not like this incredible new thing that everyone's doing. The attitude they had right at the start is crazy. Considering most restaurants close within their first year. She mentions the James Beard Award. It's like a little bit like a Michelin star, but it's only a US thing and has categories. Pretty much any chef can be nominated for one of these because they take nominations and votes from the general public. Tea here is that this chef was nominated and nothing else. Basically, probably just had his family and friends nominate him. The owner's a twat. Absolute piece of twatty shit. So after that video got over 7 million views, people started looking for this place and who owns it. But before we find out what has gone down with them, we'll watch another update.
Okay, so much has happened in the past 24 hours and I feel like I need to come on here and give everybody kind of an update. If you don't know what I'm
Can I just jump in here? 24 hours is all it takes to fuck up your business because you're an asshole. Try not to be an asshole.
Talking about, you can watch my most recent video and this video will make a lot more sense. First of all, I woke up today to the most supportive and kind and genuine and encouraging comments and messages, and I've read through every single one of them and I could not be more grateful and shocked at how much empathy you guys have towards basically a stranger on the internet. I am so grateful and so appreciative of everyone that's checked in on me and made sure that I am feeling okay. And more than anything, I feel feel so proud because I think it goes to show how strong of a community TikTok can be. I haven't responded to any comments asking about the name of the restaurant or the owner because I don't want to get you guys or me into any type of trouble, but I
You know people are going to find it though, right?
feel like everyone's kind of figured it out one way or another. I do want to make it clear that I do not condone any type of bullying or slander to unrelated family members. My issue was with this specific restaurant and the specific
and the owner.
management, and when this was happening, I not only did not know who he was, but I did not know that his family members were in the public eye. The short update is that I have not heard directly from the owner or the host about this, and I'm really hoping that they are open to taking accountability and learning and growing from this experience. But more importantly, I have gained so many new followers from this, which is pretty surreal. I'm sad that you guys first found me with a video that wasn't very positive, but I do want to go back to posting videos about food and recipes and Bay Area restaurants that I'm really excited for. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I feel so grateful for every single person that's been following me or started following me and supporting me. And we are such a strong community, and I hope that nobody on this app ever forgets that.
She handled that so well. Listen, no, you shouldn't go after this person's friends and family just because they're connected to them. They have no control of what they do. Go after the person. Go after the person. She was super respectful talking about this, and she didn't need to be at all, Talking about the daughter too. She mentioned that the owner's daughter had 600,000 followers. Could you imagine how embarrassed you'll be if your parents went viral for doing this? And be like, my daughter has 600,000. Doesn't matter about followers. I'm sorry, on TikTok, anyone can get a following. It's who watches and how many people watch. You know what I mean? TikTok doesn't really feed on following. It feeds on that For You page. So within literally 24 hours of this video, the cafe had been review bombed down to a 1 star. And they released this statement on their Instagram. Just a few of the reviews, actually, before we look at their responses. Loads of 1-star reviews, right? People said, terrible service and horrible human beings own this place. How dare you treat people based on how much followers they have? Or is this your new currency based on numbers or follower or US dollars? Owner has an ego and belittled us while we were eating, toxic environment, and couldn't even enjoy my food. I feel like a lot of people maybe went onto here and made up some things. So here's a statement from Kiss Cafe. There's actually 2. So the first one they made was 4 days ago from today. Today I'm filming this, it's the 28th of July. They said, statement from the KISS team. Our chef's behavior was unacceptable, and he is no longer part of the team as a co-owner. Oh, it was a chef, that's why it was a dick. As a co-owner, a chef, or in any other way. As of this post, he, Luke, has reached out to the creator with a personal apology. That behavior does not reflect the remainder of our team. We want to create a space that's welcoming and respectful to everyone. In this instance, we failed to do so. We are closing soon and restructuring after these events. In the meantime, we hope to still be able to sustain the livelihoods of our team members and their families. Lastly, we understand the frustration and anger, but please do not use this lapse in our values as an opportunity to foment racism and hate speech towards us and our loved ones. Oh yeah, don't do that. You can't give people negative reviews for disrespecting people when you yourself are being disrespectful. You know what I mean? And then this is an apology from the actual guy who caused this whole thing. Luke Sung, his name is. And this is on the Kiss Cafe Instagram too. This was 19 hours ago from right now. Hi everyone, I am Luke Sung, previous chef of Kiss Cafe. It was important for me to first apologize to Carla privately and step away from Kiss Cafe before publicly apologizing. Carla, I am truly sorry for my actions towards you. I was condescending, hurtful, and intimidating. You did not deserve to be made to feel less than or unimportant. Nobody does. Regardless, I thank you for teaching me a valuable lesson in kindness and respect. You are a grown-ass fucking man with children. It's a bit late, don't you think? There are no excuses to be made, and I've decided it's time for me to step away from Kiss Cafe permanently in all capacities. I also want to be clear that responsibility of this whole situation is mine alone, and my behaviour should not be a reflection on anyone else who works there or anyone who is related to me. I truly care about my staff and I'm devastated that my actions have impacted both them and their families. I have worked with many of the employees at the restaurant for years, and they are incredible people who don't deserve to suffer due to my behavior. Finally, the last person I want to apologize to is my daughter, Isabel. I am sorry I put you in this position. I am ashamed that you had to be the one to own up for my mistakes. But that's all I have ever wanted to do is give you the opportunity to create a better life for yourself than one I grew up with. So you're a father to a daughter and you have a girl come into your restaurant and you treat her like that? That's crazy. And I failed you in the worst way. I came to this country to give all of my kids the best chance to work hard towards their goals. And now I've given the public nothing but a reason to tear them down for my actions. I am sorry for disrespecting all of your efforts and hard work to build your careers. To Carla, my kids, and everyone else in the hospitality industry, I hope you accept my apology and thank you for taking time to listen to me. Sincerely, Luke Sung. So obviously a lot of crazy people exist on the internet and people do get death threats and other evil messages, but I do always find it suspicious that whenever a brand does something wrong or a company does something wrong, they always like hint or say that they've gotten these like death threats and these comments. And listen, that might very well be true. I totally believe it, but it's kind of like a poor us situation. You know what I mean? It might be risky to say, but it almost feels like some people hide behind these claims to try and soften the blow they get from the internet. Since the chef was a co-owner, I really do hope the chef has stepped away from this. And it's not just like a PR thing to be like, still come and see us. And they're not just going to hire him 6 months down the line when they have a new name for a restaurant. The daughter of this owner that we heard about in the content actually commented on Carla's video. She said this: "Hi Carla, I'm genuinely so sorry you experienced this. The way you were treated is completely unacceptable and no one should ever feel disrespected or uncomfortable in that way. I'm honestly really embarrassed that you had to go through that." This is from the guy's daughter. "Please know I'm genuinely on your side and I'll be having a serious conversation with my dad and the co-owner involved to make sure something like this never happens again to anyone. I DM'd you just to check in and see if there's anything I can do to make this right, whether that's covering your time or helping out in any other way. I'm so sorry." Really sweet. Imagine your daughter having to apologize for you. Embarrassing. Okay, let's see what she had to say.
I'm not the most well-spoken, so I'm reading off what might come out a little messy, but I just wanted to say something and not fumble my words. In light of everything that's been happening, I just want to say that I still stand by what I said in my comment in Carla's video and that I support her. What happened to her was not okay, and within hours, as soon as I saw the video, I knew exactly who it was about. I called my dad, his business partner, and I reached out to her immediately after she shared it to have him apologize in person because nobody deserves to be treated that way, and I wanted her to know that she has my support. I know I wasn't the one who said those things, but hearing him use me as his daughter to belittle another person, a creator or not, was a complete shock to me and was unacceptable. As a daughter of immigrant parents, I've spent my whole life navigating these dynamics, trying to educate him on regulating his emotions and words, which doesn't excuse anything, but this isn't the first time I felt hurt by his actions and how he has treated people. When it's to me and to people in my household, we know how to handle it, but it's not acceptable to treat anybody the same way or in public. If any of you can relate to this feeling of having parents who cannot control their emotions, you might understand this feeling, but it's not an excuse. And though I love my family, this was, again, not okay. I don't condone how he spoke to her, and I don't share the values of speaking down to anyone, especially not another AAPI creator. And even if she weren't a creator or Asian American, it still would not have been okay. I know Carla's intentions were genuine, and if she doesn't want to hear from me, I fully understand that. I want to give her space. But please know that I am not the restaurant, I am not my father, and his actions don't represent me. And just like many of you who may not have always agreed with your parents, I definitely do not always agree with mine. This was definitely a necessary wake-up call for him and a learning experience that I know he is taking very seriously. The restaurant has issued a public statement and apology, and my father has also reached out directly, but again, the most important thing is that she should have been treated with respect. I'm not asking for empathy or for grace, but thank you for listening.
Oh, That was kind of emotional. I could cry for her. I think she did really, really well. You could say one positive thing about this man is he's raised a really kind of emotionally intelligent daughter. So there's that. Oh, I feel really sad for her. That was actually quite touching in a way. It was kind of strange that she kind of had to prompt her dad to make a public apology to her, but good for her for saying that. And yeah, she doesn't deserve a backlash. If she came on the internet and was like, "You leave my dad alone, he was right," she was like, but she's clearly not a bad person in any way at all, and really just wanted to be like, listen, everything there was wrong. She never once said, "I've been getting death threats, I've been getting this." She's just said, "I just want to remind you, I am not the restaurant, I'm not this." Great. I feel so sad for her. That was yeah. What do you think of this whole situation? Have you ever been treated like shit in a restaurant? What do you think of the way businesses and brands use followers as currency, even though followers don't tend to matter? Let me know down below. Again, thank you so much for subscribing. If you have, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.